Us rolling. I'm BZB.
Whoa, you are high tech. I'm Adrian.
I am Danae.
And this is But
Actually,
Decent.
the
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 podcast.
podcast.
Mhm.
Welcome everybody to But Actually Decent, where you got three millennials here trying to get a sense of this beautiful, chaotic life. One
You
group chat at a time.
listen.
How y'all doing?
Mm,
awesome. I'm doing
Good.
good.
How was
Yeah.
y'all
I'm
weekend?
doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah,
Brian.
weekends. B, start with
My
you.
weekend was pretty good. Besides that Dust Bowl that Beyonce kicked up and got my eye all irritated. I actually went to the doctor today because I think it was an eyelash that got in my eye on Friday, along with the dust storm, and so that had my eye like looking crazy.
It
Um,
was looking crazy.
Yeah, it was.
yeah, and that actually
Eyelash got in your.
I think it was an eyelash. I really do. Because I remember sitting here at this desk and I'm like, man, something is really in my eye. I tried to get it out, couldn't really get it out. And then I was just like, okay, well, maybe it just fell out or something like that. But it must have got in there and really scraped it up. That's actually in my segment, my bowel segment. So
Okay.
yeah.
We'll go.
Um yeah, my baby graduated from pre-K, so she's going to kindergarten. So
She's
we got a
doing big
scholar.
things.
We got a scholar
Doing
on
big
our
things.
hands. And she
She's
said,
doing.
we were like, where you want to go for your graduation dinner? And she said, I want to go to Chili's. Because they have those crunchy noodles and those noodles and sauce. They don't have no crunchy noodles. She was like, you mean PF Chang's? She said, yeah, PF Chang's. That's where I want to go.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's a
Very different.
big jump. That's a big
Big-
jump.
It's a huge jump. It's a huge jump.
Oh,
And
the
then
crunchy
Saturday,
noodles.
yeah, the crunchy noodles at the end, it be hidden, you know. Sunday was cool. Yeah, so whole weekend was very good. Everything was very, very good. Hey, what about you?
I had a busy weekend. So on Friday, my cousin got married. Congratulations to
Come
both
on,
and
nuptials.
Congrats.
Juan. Yep, so they got married. So that was nice. We did that on Friday.
May I ask, what's Bolo's real name? I don't think I've ever heard it.
We'll save it for offline.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
Congrats,
yeah.
Bolo.
Bola.
Shout out to
Okay.
Bolo.
Bola. Yeah. That's so funny because my family, I just love them so much, and everybody was giving a speech at this wedding. Everybody had the microphone, and do you know every person said because Bolo, we call him Bolo like we called him by his middle name when we were little, and he only went by his first name when we were in school. So we never really called him by his first name, and he got that's the thing with him. He all unto give.
Well, y'all are middle name people, though.
Mm.
Yeah,
Y'all are a middle name family.
yeah, that's true. Because all of my sisters are, if you call them by their first name, that's if you work with them or went to school with them or something
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, you're right. You're right about that. But so we did that Friday. Congratulations to them. Saturday. What did I do Saturday? Ooh, I don't know. I hope I didn't do nothing good, and then I forgot about it.
Mhm.
I don't know, but Sunday I woke up and I was feeling kind of blah, and I was like sitting with it for a little bit, and then I was like, okay, Adrian, you got to get up, and you gotta do something, you gotta get moved. So I got up and I went to get a manicure and a pedicure. That was such a good idea.
Mhm.
And I just believe that the way that Ada was rubbing my feet, and I love Ada, that's my girl. She's like, "Where you been?" Because I haven't been in like 3 months, so they had to go to work on my feet, and they did, and I love that. That was a highlight
Yeah.
of my week. That was a good way to start my week because it was needed. Because these toenails, I was like, "Okay, Adrian, enough is enough."
Scratching up the sheets.
It was time. They slicing my sheets. Yeah, they were there. So that was my weekend, and I really hope I didn't do nothing Saturday, and I forgot about it. But
Well, charge it to your head and not your heart.
yeah,
Hello.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Nice callback.
Yes.
Danae.
I did nothing on Saturday. Well, I did a lot on Saturday, but in my home. I think I washed every item of clothing. in this
Wow.
mofo on
In
Saturday.
this mofo.
And I'm just gonna say this one thing to my boo. You better act like you know.
Act like you know. Act like you know.
I cleaned something for him, and he better act like he know.
Uh-oh.
From this point
I
on,
about know what it is.
you know,
I
you
about
know exactly what it is.
I know too.
And right, yeah, everybody know.
Everybody know.
Very true.
But yeah, my whole day Saturday was pretty much cleaning. And then on Sunday, I wanted to stay home, but I also went to go get a manicure. I didn't need a pedicure, but I went and got a manicure. When I got there, usually you don't have to make an appointment because the nail shop I go to, they just expanded. So they got a whole bunch of seats and a bunch of people in there. But for some reason, I had to
It was
wait.
cracking.
And so
Yeah.
it was a bunch of little kids in there. I don't know if somebody was having like a pamper party for some kids. And so I was gonna go to Costco and I was like, I don't really need all that. So I ended up going to Mariano's and then went back to get my nails done. I had to stop at my sister's house for something. And then I was back home at a decent hour and I was nesting in my home this weekend and it felt good because I haven't had a chance to do it in a while.
Good. I love that.
Yep.
I love that. Wait, back to you at the nail shop. Do you have a person or
No? I've never been a person, and honestly, don't talk to me. I don't want to talk.
I want to see your phone. My Ada
No.
got a picture on her watch. I was looking. I was like, "Oh, that's cute."
Like
That's
sometimes
my
when I see
girl.
people like that come in asking for someone, or like, hey girl, how the kids? I'm just like, wow, I don't desire that.
Ada
Like,
only worked on the weekends because during the school year because her son in school. He be at the shop on Sunday, but she only worked during the weekend. So I gotta go either early Saturday or Sunday. That's my girl.
Yeah, I could do without that. I'm going to the first available.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's all right though. Yeah.
So, Brian, when's the last time you had a pedicure?
Yeah, Brian.
I've never had one before, or a manicure.
Okay.
I've never had a manicure.
Field trip. It's time. It's time.
I'll be getting my haircut. I would like to have a manicure. I never had one before.
That's our next outing, guys.
Yeah. If we go to my girl, we can go to TT's after and get a little daytime martini with a little drunken noodle and maybe a little avocado egg roll if you're feeling spicy, because that's what I always get.
Sounds like you know your order pretty well.
Listen.
Exactly. Right. You just sit down and say, oh, don't worry about it. We got you. If
I gotta drive, 2 martinis. If somebody else driving, 6 martinis.
And TT's used to be right by your old house.
Yes, and I used to be. I was like, "Ooh, if I want to go get food, I only have to go." Like I had a whole system. If I didn't get food at TT's, but yeah, we should do that. Yeah, B-boy, for real, we should. Well, because we just went, so we have to do it in like 2 weeks.
We'll figure it out.
But we don't have to get one. We can get you had the experience. I feel like that's how we should.
Yeah.
I
just feel like I'm gonna look up and Brian gonna be getting
once you get one,
kick the lady in the face.
Yeah. Because he laughing, she not tickling your feet, bro. I promise you not.
Dang.
Oh, you gotta get your feet put in the bag with that look. I don't know what that is.
Paraffin.
Oh yeah, paraffin.
The crab oil bag.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get milk and honey, and then she do lavender.
Hennessy too. Do they do Hennessy?
I would never. I would never.
Too far.
Wait.
What
is that?
Yeah,
what is
I say
that?
For the listeners, I say that because I think it was Nay or
no, it was you. It was. Oh yeah, it was me.
She sent the video. She sent the video in the group chat. Was like, "How do y'all feel about this?" And
you gotta insert the video here.
Yeah, I'm gonna put. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put the video in. But yeah, for the listeners, they had their feet in the bath and stuff, but they was pouring Hennessy on it. I'm just like, what is that? That's not doing anything.
And
What's
they had
going on?
that gold, whatever that was.
It was
Yeah.
like gold paper.
Yeah.
Like
Like
gold
edible
plate
gold
paper.
that you put on like
Yeah.
strawberries
Y'all
or
ever
something.
had food with gold, edible gold on it?
I have. Yeah.
Ooh,
It's
fancy.
it's pretty cool.
That
You ever
baby
get
shower
the
was
hot
crazy.
The hot damn baby shower. I was thinking about a restaurant. You did a baby
Right.
shower. That's high class.
You know it ain't no real
It was
baby
my
shower unless they
birthday.
got the meatballs.
Adrian, why you
You
hold
hear
that
me?
water like it's a drink?
That's Saratoga, baby.
I'm getting scummy.
Mm.
I left my Stanley at work, so
Stanley, you ain't got no Willie
It'd be
Earl on
like-
standby.
All right.
Yeah, that's funny.
So let's get into some segments. I can go first with
Segment.
what y'all mad about now.
yeah.
And oh yeah, before we do that, we want to remind everyone
Look below and
to
follow.
do all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Below.
YouTube, Pod and Colors,
Subscribe.
TikTok. Mm-hmm. Subscribe. Mm-hmm.
Bank hand bounce.
No. No, I won't. YouTube, Brian. That was a good one.
Subtle
Brian
bacon.
will do it.
Yeah, follow us on all the stuff.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So now we'll get into what y'all mad about now.
Yes.
And if y'all hear it while we recording, you'll know why. Apparently in the front bathroom, in like the exhaust fan,
Mm-hmm.
there is a bird's nest in there. And they've been hollering and screaming.
Yeah.
And the roof is on fire for them. They having a good old time in there. And earlier I took the broomstick and like did it like that. And I thought it was gonna make them be quiet. No, it did the complete opposite. I'm like,
girl, they did not care what
we
you
turn it up now.
yes. Like I have to have the door closed because it's so loud. And I noticed it this morning. I'm like, it's a bird's nest. And you can hear like little scratches
crackling.
around. Yeah, like you can hear they little movements in there.
Wow.
And
So what's gonna happen about that?
Well, I told homeboy. He said he was gonna go up there and look, but I just don't think that's safe. I think we need to probably get the landlord out here.
Yeah, for sure. For
Yes.
sure.
I don't think it's a DIY project. It's not a DIY project.
No, hell no.
But somebody
That's how you
needs to
get rabies. Yeah.
It's so much more going into that than just seeing if it's a bird. You don't know what you're going to.
Not rabies.
Yeah, I don't have time for bird flu. You're right. Decision is made.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Y'all know this is a black podcast, so you know.
Right. I'm mad about it though, because they loud and they are disturbing the peace up in here.
DTP.
Yes. They are. They are. And I feel bad for them because they obviously are babies, so they can't get out.
The roof is on fire.
What?
You said the roof is on fire for them.
That's what they do.
Oh,
That's
God.
what they doing. The roof is on
Wait,
fire.
so wait, what you mad about? You mad about the roof?
The bird's nest. Don't be coming over here with
How
no
was that
nature.
not clear?
I ain't never laughed so much to what you mad about than this one. That's why I said,
No.
okay. So.
I don't need no nature in my life. I mean,
Is it any like free
my home.
animal, whatever? You know, the people that come animal. I don't know.
Adrian, you know where I live, don't you?
Then that doesn't mean anything.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine
that's the
that that's
thing,
high on the
no.
priority list. That's
I
not. If
don't
I call the
know.
police about that, they gonna hang up on me.
Well, don't call the police, but call like the
non-emergency line.
number. Yeah, I for real, I really think that's the thing. Before you have homeboy going up there thinking he remember when Colin tried to put that satellite dish up, and you saw what happened to them. So
I just don't even know how you get to an exhaust pipe. Also, I don't know what it looks like on the roof.
The landlord.
He been up there. The
Exactly.
landlord. Okay,
The
true.
landlord
True.
for sure
Okay.
yeah, that's not.
Y'all help me.
No, hell no. No.
Well, hopefully next week I have something positive to share that the birds are gone.
Next week for the podcast, in a couple days for the group chat. Because what's
Right.
going on?
Yeah.
Because what happened if they stay there?
Right,
It's not-
exactly. We had that happen
gonna
before in our actually in our, the exhaust fan above the range. That happened before. And so it's like they could get in, but they couldn't get out or something like that. So they had to install something where they couldn't get out or in. So yeah,
interesting.
That's no fun.
Well, we might need to deal with that because I don't want to smell like chicken up in here either.
Unless I bought it and I cooked it.
Right.
You don't need that. That's funny.
But I'm mad about it. Get it out.
I'm looking on Angie's list, and they have some stuff on there. We got to get that taken care of. That's
really please. I'll take
How is Dolce doing with it?
Dolce can't see or hear at this point, so I don't know that it's bothering him, but it's showing up bothering me.
Because Dolce, he wouldn't have been.
Okay, he would have. Yes,
He'd have been cutting up.
But I've been keeping the door closed in the bathroom also, and so maybe that helps. But he can't hear. I be coming in the house like Dolce, and he be asleep.
Dolce is the dog, you guys. For the people that don't
Dolce
know,
is my
we don't want to think like it's a kid or something like that.
Dolce, get your ass up.
Dolcini, Devontae, Russell.
Devontae Swang. That's what's up. Yeah. Okay. So I could go next. My BZ offers wisdom. So my eye, bruh, was like hurting. Actually, it wasn't even hurting. It was just really red, and when I touched it, it was a little tender. It was a little sensitive to light. So that happened on like between Friday and Saturday. Today's Monday. I actually went and it was $5 my copay. How about that? And then the medicine was actually free because I went to CVS. It was $25 at Walgreens.
See, and you was talking junk when I sent you that thing from CVS.
I know, right? I know, and I should have. Who knew? Who knew? So I get my BZ offer. The wisdom part is don't be sitting on stuff, especially when it comes to your health, because you only get two eyes. You only get your hearing is only going to get worse. Unfortunately, it's not going to get any better. You know what I'm saying? So if something is like really bothering you, don't just be like, well, I could just fight through it. No, because that could lead to even bigger problems. Because when I
will say, unless you are a black mama, black mamas can hear. They can hear very, very well. They can hear you breathing. They can hear you roll your eyes.
They can hear you roll your eyes.
Yeah.
What was
Sorry,
that? You
go
want to say it again?
What?
Oh, okay.
I heard you. I didn't even do nothing.
You're right.
Sorry. Maybe that was just
take
my
that
black
out
your
radio experience.
It was all like,
yeah,
I heard that a few times.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah. So yeah, just go ahead and get it checked out because when I said I'm a little sensitive to light. And the nurse practitioner, she said, "Oh wow, really? Okay, look, we're gonna just look at this, right?" I'm like, I just said I'm sensitive to light, but she did say she was like, I could see the scarring on your eye. She's like, so I'm gonna prescribe you some eye drops and this ointment that you put on your eye before you go to sleep. But just think if the scarring had got worse, some stuff is irreparable. I was like, it'll be kind of back to normal. She was like, oh yeah, it'd be back to normal by the end of the week. So had I not spent $5 and took the time to really go, I know a lot of older black people, they really have a real thing with doctors and stuff,
the men,
but but also women though. You ain't never y'all a good documentary.
I know of one.
It wasn't a documentary. It was a movie about what is it? It was with Oprah, and so basically they took the lady's cells after she died.
Henrietta Lacks.
Henrietta Lacks. That was a really, really great movie. And back then, I think this was in like Baltimore or something like that. But the hospital would just snatch up black people if they was just out. and then just be like doing experiments on them and stuff. So that's where we come from, essentially, like our parents and stuff. That's the stories that they heard. So some of them going to the doctor, they're like, I'm not getting snatched up. No, absolutely not.
That does make sense. I never thought of it like that.
Yeah. But
they did stem cell research, and Henrietta Lacks had the strongest stem cells in the world. Like they still using her stuff now,
but it was without her family's consent, and they actually, I think they could have saved her from dying. She was young. I don't even think she was like 30 something. You know what I'm saying? And
I do remember that angle now.
They let her die, and then was using her cells for stem research, and it helped so many other people. But the family was like, I think there's something here. So
right, y'all was
right.
Exactly. I ain't never seen that. You said it's called Henrietta Lacks.
That's the lady's name.
That's her name. Yeah. But the immortal life of Henrietta Lacks.
Yeah.
It's on HBO Max, which is funny because they going back to HBO Max.
Now they going back, and now they going back blue because they was black. Now they back blue.
So stupid, all of it. But yeah, great movie, came out in 2017. Go watch it. Hey, what you got for us today?
Oh wow, yeah, that was quick. I was still thinking about Henrietta. But
Henrietta, when's the last time you've met one of those?
The first time. I've never met a Henrietta in real life.
I really, really feel like
never.
I don't know that I want to say never.
I think they're retired. All the Henriettas.
No,
I don't think I met a young Gloria either.
Because I feel what?
Gloria, like a young Gloria. I mean, Glorilla
was young.
25.
I knew a look. I was about to say Glorilla.
A Glorilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, Henrietta. I think that. Yeah, that name. I don't know. It's sticking out to me.
Her daddy name Henry.
Yeah, for sure. It's a female version of Henry.
Have to be.
Whatever the reason is, I believe that baby name was Henrietta. But I digress.
Well, Henry's an old male name too.
Yeah, I got Uncle Henry Lee. I got Uncle Henry Lee. Uncle Henry Lee.
Not Henry Lee.
Ever have back pockets? Ever.
Okay.
You don't need
also, we all listened to the read either between yesterday and today, so this is why we are like, this is hilarious. Yeah, going off on tangents and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But anyway, so last episode we talked about we did this before on what I think was our 6th or 9th episode, where we talked about different types of self-care. So the time came back around just to check in again. So on our last episode, that's available on all of our platforms that you can follow us on and view our episodes. We talked about the different types of self-care. So we were able to get into spiritual self-care, social self-care, and physical self-care. So we'll touch back on those, but I want to touch on 2 more, that we didn't have a chance to get to last episode. And so this will be, oh my God, Sarah Tucker, you right tonight?
That's not LaCroix.
I'm sorry, excuse me. But yeah, real about you like. So yeah, so that's what. Go ahead.
I just want to say something about LaCroix real quick. I read
what's with the spirit of water that's on this episode.
I read that they said LaCroix, if it's grape, it's like somebody is yelling in the other room like it's grape as you drinking it, because that's the only way that you're gonna understand that it's grape.
Because the flavors don't
just remember
flavoring.
It's grape.
It's very difficult to determine what's what with LaCroix. It all tastes the same, and then they got
like
one
static
that's
water
just like
TV.
Water.
Static water TV.
Yes, it is.
No, thank you.
You ever seen the videos of like people giving their dogs sparkling water?
No.
Oh, you need to go down there. You need to check that out.
That's what I'm gonna be giving Kabir.
It's like their tongue start itching. Like, what is that?
They
be going crazy.
I've never seen
That's
that.
funny.
And okay, so make sure you drink your water.
Self-care.
Self-care. Okay. So we talked about those different types of self-care. And so I want us to touch on 2 more. And then we'll kind of bring it all together at the end and just have a little conversation here and there in between. Okay.
Oh.
So I want to start off with asking you two, what comes to mind when you hear mental self-care? Like, what's the first thoughts that come to mind?
Rest. Rest.
Okay.
I don't like at this point in my life, I feel like sleep is involuntary and rest is like I'm resting when my brain is on the counter.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, mental rest I think is like kind of checking out and just kind of being, it doesn't necessarily have to be alone, but being in a very comfortable space, whatever that means for you. So sometimes for me, that's watching Zeus. And sometimes for me, that's like actually
Watching
laying and and watching nothing, or reading or walking on the treadmill or, stuff like that.
So just some alone time when you hear mental self-care, just on some taking care of you type stuff. What about you, B? What do you think about when you hear that mental self-care?
I think it's really about like not allowing yourself to be like super busy and not like taking a break. And like just being stretched too thin, that like kind of goes into physical, but I feel like your mental like takes a huge toll when you're just always busy, just non-stop busy,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey.
For sure.
So I found this article. It was from the Virginia Commonwealth University School of Social Work website.
VCU.
Wow, But I feel like I had to say the whole thing.
Yeah,
because
Commonwealth.
it was very good. And so they had an article where they talked about 7 different types of self-care, because there were 5 we're going to touch on, but it's a bunch of different ones and like a different therapists and everything. They have different types that they go by, whatever. So mental self-care from that article is mental stimulation such as learning new things can help with the person's energy and outlook. Activities may include reading or listening to a new book or podcast, doing brain teasers, or trying out a new hobby. It can be as simple as learning a new route to and from work. Anything that gets a person out of a mental rut can be mental self-care.
Zeus.
That's good.
Zeus. Okay. So I want that. I want you to keep that. And so from what that article, how they describe, which I really love how they broke it down, but how they describe mental self-care, I want you to go back. Think about MySpace days. Okay? And when you think MySpace days, remember how you can make like the custom backgrounds and stuff?
Yeah.
And you could put like the music and it'll be like you have your top friends and all those things. So with thinking about mental self-care, what would be 5 things that you would name that would be plastered somewhere on that MySpace page that would describe your mental self-care today?
It's a pretty cool concept.
You want to popcorn it? Let's popcorn it.
Sure.
Yeah. Tell me you're a teacher without telling me you're a teacher.
Sorry.
No, I think that's a good idea. I think I'll start. I think for me, I would have, if I had to have a thing on my page, and this is just real, I would have like some really, really good, like a really nice and healthy display of food, meal prep, something like that, like one of those kind of pictures to describe that, because I feel like it's so much power in food and stuff, and we get lost in the sauce sometimes. So I think having that to think of my mental self-care, because I feel like that's a part of it for me. So that would be a thing that I would have on my page, is like something that would be able to identify what I feel about like eating healthy and, you know, doing your best and all that good stuff. So that's one I would have.
A question about that. So with the food prep and stuff, do you feel like it's more about the food you're consuming or the actual organizing of things? Like putting things in the different containers and
so are
just
you
grab and go lifestyle.
So are you asking like if it's about the
what feels good about it to you?
To me, it like I truly love like the part from going to the grocery store at 9:00 in the morning on a Sunday. If I have it my way, I will be at the grocery store, like getting a buggy at 9:00 in the morning. I enjoy that. I enjoy going to the grocery store. I enjoy prepping fruit. I cut some fruit up today. I enjoy it. I enjoy knowing that I don't have to worry about dinner, lunch, breakfast, snacks, and then I can control it to where I'm having like a lot of fruit, a lot of vegetables, a lot of water, you know, opposed to when you just eating out, you just kind of go with whatever feels good at the moment.
Yeah.
So I think that's the part that I like about it. And then I would, when my check clear, I'm going to have like a
real big check.
You hear me? When my check clear, I'm going to have like a nice lunch bag, because I had to throw mine out because I spilled something and it smelled weird. So, but I want to have like a nice lunch bag. I want to have glass containers. I already got gold silverware that I use at work. Like I love the whole thing for meal prepping. So like that today I went to the grocery store and I was like, I'm just getting some fruit, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm gonna just spend $40-$50, and that's just never the case. And it felt so good knowing I went home to cut up a watermelon and a papaya. Like I love it. So I love every part of it for me.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Like if I had to do it, like if it was like, Adrian, can you meal prep some salads and stuff for me? I do that.
Wow.
You
saying somebody else, somebody that you love.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say for mine, water would be involved. Being next to some large body of water, I feel like I am truly, like I just said about like my brain being off. It's something about like hearing water. Like sometimes it's locally in the form of a shower, or it can be like, this is the BTS. We breathe for each episode, and this week we listened to Seltzer, like Fizz, for a couple of minutes, and like something like that. Anything, I don't know. It's just something about water, and I don't know if I'm a water sign. I'm a Libra. Is that I don't know, but I think I just have a connection to water that makes me at my most peaceful mental. Oh, okay. Well,
it's an air sign.
Maybe
but you can still love water though.
Yeah. I love the water. I really do. That's my thing.
Right.
And to even take it a step further, when I'm drinking water, like when I'm truly consuming enough water to feel like I'm replenishing myself in the right way, like that also I just feel good. I don't know. Me and water are aligned.
So what's your favorite water?
My favorite water to buy?
Water. I'm sorry, yeah.
Pellegrino.
I do like Pellegrino, but if I'm just going for still, it's something about the Smart Water bottle. I know that it's like probably not the best. But my eyes always go to it. And that's the water that I tend to grab. Like if I'm just running into Walgreens and need to grab a water.
Okay.
I grab that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my jam.
Yeah.
I like Fiji myself.
Fiji is also good. I've always felt like Fiji has been out of my tax bracket. You know, I'm a little intimidated by the Fiji.
But then you buy a 6-pack of Smart Water.
True.
Yeah, I
feel
don't
like
know
it's
that I
about
get
the
jiggy with
same.
Fiji.
Really?
I don't get jiggy
I
with
want to
Fiji.
go to Fiji.
Oh no, for
Hello.
sure, all of it. I do all the things. I just don't want the water. I don't like to buy it. I don't like Fiji.
So we
Don't
beefing?
be water
Is that what it
shaming. Don't
is?
be water shaming.
Right. You
I'm
said
just saying
tripping.
what's happening on 404. I'm just saying what's happening at 404. We don't do Fiji.
I will water shame you if I ask for water and you give me Aquafina though. I will water shame you.
Aquafina or Dasani.
Dasani tastes like somebody drank it already. Don't give me no Dasani.
Somebody said Dasani tastes like water gun water.
What? Where did these people say this? What? I am looking at the wrong page.
Dog, that's so funny. That's so funny.
Dasani tastes
Water
like
gun water.
I don't want no water gun water. That's gross.
That is so funny to me.
Okay, what's yours, Adrian?
My favorite water.
Yeah. B.
I was gonna say what was on my what would be on
Your
my
mental.
on my MySpace list. Yeah.
It
my
would
bad.
be for my mental gathering with loved ones, either family or chosen family. That really. When I was listening, we were listening to the read earlier. The Friend Zone, my bad. Friend Zone. And they were talking about towards the end, they said friendship really can like change the like your sales or something like that. And your for the better. Yeah, and I believe that. I really do believe that because you just feel so like fulfilled, and I just love those feelings that you have with your family or chosen family when it's a great time and everybody's just laughing and being loud. And at my parents' house, especially got my cousins and my aunties and uncles, if I come over and it's not loud, I'm like, okay, what just happened? Who just died?
It's
Something's wrong.
Gotta be loud.
Yeah. So those so okay, so y'all want to do another round or y'all feel good about those?
Do another round.
So
we can do another. You got another one, baby?
Okay, we got so I said food. I will have something with nature. Cause I feel like it's so many different where you can do like something in the forest, you can be in water, you can be so I feel like something with nature for sure because that gives for sure. I will have something with nature. Would y'all go camping?
Glamping. I'll consider.
So glamping is where you sleep in like the RV, right?
I mean,
or nearby hotel.
Yeah. Right. You ever seen True Beverly Hills? You seen True Beverly Hills?
I don't know.
A classic movie that I need y'all both to watch.
True Beverly Hills?
Troop Beverly Hills. It is about a Girl Scout, the Girl Scouts in Beverly Hills, and just it's kind of an oxymoron.
Right. They weren't going for none.
They were not. I can quote that movie from beginning to the end. But it's a good one.
That's funny.
I might watch it tonight. It's on Tubi. But that's a feel good. That's a good mental break for me. But what I was gonna say is cleaning. Like the act of cleaning, the act of like getting rid of things, or like it feels mindless, although like sometimes you have to like figure out how to get into the cracks and the crevices. Really cleaning is just your body just kind of flowing and seeing things wrong and fixing it, right? And so that feels like a mental break for me, which sometimes like I know sometimes my partner be like, you just came in and start cleaning. I'm like, yes, like this feels good to me. This is what I want to do. But I don't want to do it every day. So I do kind of have a thing where like there's certain cleaning that I'm not going to do throughout the week. But generally I have I don't want to say a whole day of cleaning over the weekend, but there will be some designated cleaning time.
Yeah.
Most weekends, just because it makes me like I wake up feeling better, or I go to bed feeling better when I know that my house is clean.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true.
Mental break.
That does something to your mind for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So we gathering with our people. We're cleaning. We're in nature. We're with water. We're
B, what you got?
What was the other one? I thought B had another one.
This would be my other one.
Oh, okay.
I would say traveling as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
Just like the whole packing and getting to the airport and buying some $40 burgers at the airport, because that's just what you do.
You just have to.
You just
have to.
And why do you always get hungry at the airport? You could have been just ate. You could have been just came from lunch.
Your stomach get connected to the Wi-Fi, the $50 Wi-Fi at the airport.
Right.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, getting on the plane, checking into your hotel, and that first dinner and stuff. Yeah, all of that stuff is just just so carefree, man. You're just like, this is what life should be like all the time.
Yeah,
especially like a break.
Oh, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Like
when you first get on the boat.
Yeah. Give me 2 of them gas burgers. Yeah, that's funny. I do wonder though, for people that like got it made and stuff and they just travel all the time, do they ever get like, do you think they get tired of it? Like, because it could be too much of a good thing, and we're sitting here like, what? Are you crazy?
I don't know that it is. I want let me try. Let me see. Let me say it's too much.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you. You say, do I want to go where? Hong Kong? Yeah, let's go.
Because there's so many different kinds of travel you can do.
Oh my God, that'll be so good.
Wait, can I just say?
Go ahead.
Can I just say real quick, man? I follow this black couple on TikTok, and they moved to China. And I'm talking about their place. They got like a penthouse. And it's so beautiful. $1,200 a month. And just like all the stuff that it's crazy. And it's funny how the media portrays China, that like nobody would like us in China and stuff like that. They're like, no, they love us in China.
we got friends here.
Right.
Oh, I have friends in China. That's wrong.
So who moved to China? China.
Well, y'all, okay, well, I know you can't do it. Well, y'all both have commitments. I know I would do it. But if y'all were single, what y'all left now?
I was doing a Trump dance, orange man dance.
He was doing it because he said China. Sorry.
You say if you could move, say it again.
If you didn't have to consider like your families and nothing like that, and you were just a free spirit. If they said we pay you 100 million US, well, not 100 million, 1 million US dollars to live in another country, and one that'll be safe for you and all that stuff. But you have to live there, all expense paid for 6 months. Could you do it? And you can
6 months ain't nothing. What? Absolutely.
I mean, do I come back to
no?
Nothing?
Wait. Come back.
I'm saying like, okay, in that 6 month period, am I like losing my home or like losing?
No, it's like,
girl, you a millionaire.
Like, right.
Yeah, but 1 million though.
No, but it was just picture like going on Big Brother.
Yeah, can I go away
like
for
that
6
kind
months?
of thing?
For sure. Yes,
sign me
up. Actually,
you cannot come home and you cannot contact anybody from home.
Okay, they know where I'm at. Like they know I'm good.
Yeah.
Can I email them once a week?
See, that's the thing. The challenge was set, and you got too many. Can we? What do?
I do think it will be important for them to know that I'm okay. That's all.
Okay. But you do.
And don't ask me for nothing when I come back.
Don't ask me for. I don't know you.
That's okay.
Okay, so all of that was just that with mental self care, and if you think about it, with how the different conversations that you can have, and then with like your people, and or if you're tuning in and you want to comment, please do, and we can have a little dialogue. But this is a good conversation to have with your people to see about different, because even though like I love water and all that stuff, but like the way that they both broke down theirs, I was like, wow, that's good, and I feel that would be great for mental self care. So it's already a party because we got some mental self care. And I feel like that was fun. So let's dabble in the last self care that we'll touch on. Financial self care.
All right, y'all. It's been a good night. I guess I will talk to y'all later. But actually, decent, we out.
We out, y'all.
I hate you so much, but yeah. So financial self care. So again, from the article I mentioned earlier, financial pressures are a common source of stress. Taking control of their financial matters can help an individual alleviate some of the anxiety that they may have regarding their financial stability. Excuse me. Although beginning to practice these types of self-care activities may feel stressful at first, over time, financial self-care can result in peace of mind. Financial self-care tips include setting a budget, identifying financial goals, such as paying off credit cards, and contributing to a retirement fund. So with hearing that definition of financial self-care, we'll start with B. What does your financial self-care today gives? Like what is it giving?
Financial stuff. You know what? When I think about like these jobs and stuff like that, I don't think of a lot of like security when it comes to like 401ks and stuff. Because I just think about like pensions are a thing of the past for sure, right? Like now in 2025, only people that really get pensions is like firefighters or like police officers and stuff like that. So I think that we need to do something. Me personally, I think that I need to do something like kind of outside of that. So I was listening to a YouTuber and he was like, don't think of like starting a YouTube channel as like trying to get rich and trying to get like viral tomorrow, but you're setting up your retirement plan essentially. You know what I'm saying? Which I thought was very, very interesting. Very, very interesting, because he was like, if you are building up a library for people to watch videos and stuff like that, you are essentially building up your retirement plan. Because if it takes 10 years, 15 years for your YouTube to pop off, just think about it. It's been here for that long,
Wow.
So, and I was like, that's very, very interesting.
That's a nice way to look at that.
And I also think about like, I definitely would like to own like apartment buildings and stuff like that. So that's another real estate. Yeah. When I think about a retirement plan. So yeah, that's what I think about.
Okay. So your financial self-care is given, focusing on the retirement and investing and making
and
your
focusing on yourself though.
Okay.
Instead of
Okay.
making it happen.
Nene, what did your financial self-care give?
Ramen noodles and pork and beans. No,
Not pork and beans.
With a little piece of
I ain't never had a pork and bean in my life.
Really?
Never. Not once. Not once have I had
You
one.
never had hot dog and pork and beans?
Well, hot dogs and baked beans, yeah.
I haven't. I didn't grow up in a bean home. So
I for
hot
sure didn't
dogs,
accept.
yes.
Yeah.
Hot dogs for dinner sometimes for sure with a little side of chips.
Right.
I would say that my financial self-care is giving a strong attempt at discipline. I have I didn't go see Beyonce this weekend. That was some strong discipline for me. And not because
Couldn't.
it's not even that. It just felt I'm getting to the point now where I'm looking longer, like looking at my money differently, right? So like it's easy to have it and to just blow it on something, but then you think about what you could do with that and like how you can make your life easier if you use that towards groceries, or you pay down a credit card, or you make a more responsible choice. So I'm trying to be a little bit more grown, because I don't know who I heard this from. Maybe oh boy. But
oh boy.
Thinking about like now I can work and I could do multiple things and I can start new things. But there might come a day where I can't. So like what do you do to set yourself up so that if you can't, you know, you're gonna be all right. Because that is a fear of mine, of like making life hard for
yourself,
the 60 plus Danae or the 70 plus Danae. Like, no, I wanna be able to still go places and do things and not have to you know, go crazy. So I am fortunate that I have one of those employers, that not employers, but career paths that has a pension. But you know, they be playing around.
Yeah.
So they ain't gonna catch me slipping. I'm gonna have something.
As you should, Queen. As you should.
I'm gonna have a whistle. Yep.
What about you, 8?
I think I really don't know if I can pick one word to describe it, or one. And so here's just where I am with it. It's just like a little financial self-care dump. But I'm in a place now in my life where I'm like, okay, I want stuff. Like with me just moving, and then I'm like, oh, I want to get this, and I want to buy that, and I want one of these, and I'm thinking about like getting stuff. I'm not thinking about saving in case something breaks, or saving in case you need to. Like I haven't been there, and I realize it, and I'm trying to find a way to make things, to work things out. In this financial self-care helps. Even how they mentioned about setting a budget and stuff like that, like all of those things, like that's been a bit of a struggle for me, honestly. Because again, I want stuff because it makes me feel good. Like even I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the nail shop, and I was like, I ain't going to the nail, but I know what it costs to go to the nail shop. I know what it costs, and it's gonna cost that every time. And I said, you know what? I'm going. Could I have waited? At that time, no. But then I have those types of conversations. So, you know, it's a bunch of different emotions about it for me with finance. So I don't know what mine is giving. Like mine kind of gives like I don't know, like a kaleidoscope or something, but it's just because it's so many different like every day. I feel like every day is something different, and then like, but I appreciate it because I'm able to sit with it and see like, okay, so I'm really feeling like this. Ooh, is this that? Or, you know, really asking myself like, what are the different emotions that I'm feeling behind it? Because I mean, it's gonna stress you out, whether if you let it or not. Like it's gonna stress you out. It's gonna do that, but you gotta like. I'm learning to kind of like sit with it to see like what exactly is going on. So that's where I am with financial self-care. Like I don't know what I would say that is given, but it's all of that stuff.
Yeah,
it's all of that
stuff. But you know what? Another thing that I learned too, I listened to this podcast. It was from the writer. He was a writer on Insecure and also rap shit from Issa Rae too.
Prentice Prenny.
No, so it was another guy. It was another guy, okay. And it was like it wasn't that many episodes, like 8 or 9 episodes. And so basically, he was just talking about how, as a writer, as a Black writer, you know, fashion sense and stuff like that, like somebody just looking at his outfit. So if he goes into a writing room, right, and then he comes in like a tattered AC/DC shirt jeans that got holes in them and then some flip-flops, they'd be like, okay, coffee's here. Versus he has to spend this money on this Gucci t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? Really nice jeans, some purple jeans or something, and then some like retro Jordans or something like that. Because they like, oh no, he means business. Like I want to work with him. You know what I'm saying? And so I say that to say sometimes I used to think of like people that would like spend all this money on designer or like in their cars and stuff like that as like a waste. But that's not necessarily always true, because it is an investment. You know what I'm saying? Especially with women with bags.
You want to
and
dress
stuff
for
like
where
that.
you're going.
Yeah. And that doesn't always look like a suit, like a 3-piece suit. You know what I'm saying? That sometimes it look like a Balenciaga shirt. And it's like, ooh, I'm gonna have noodles. I don't think that's the best way to, but it depends. It just depends.
Now that's extreme now. That you took me high, you took me low.
Maybe you could get you some polo. It still look nice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't gotta go to Balenci,
And quite honestly, I don't think anyone has ever gone wrong with a crisp white shirt.
But well, in my white tee, yeah.
Well, not
plenty of
not
people
them,
went wrong.
not the XLT.
But you know what? Kevin Hart says, you don't have to dress expensively as long as you look clean. As long as you look clean and presentable, that goes a long way. But I will say though, depending on who you're trying to impress professionally, you know what I'm saying? That stuff does matter. You can't be like, oh yeah. I think it was Zaytoven. He said when he made his first $10,000 or something like that, he bought like a fur and like some boots. So he walked in the studio and niggas like, oh no, I want to work with him.
Somebody.
I want to work with him. He was like, I ain't had no more money, but I bought that fur though. Again, another extreme situation. However, he got to kind of, he a music producer. So you pull up in the bucket. It's like, I'm not trying to listen to what you got to say.
True.
Yeah.
So it's just balance. It's about balance. You don't want to be killing yourself trying to pay for this stuff, but at the same time, you get a haircut before you have a big meeting. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm. You should.
You should.
Wow, I love that. So that's that's financial self-care. Do y'all have anything else you want to add to it before we close out on that part of this episode?
No, actually, I enjoyed that.
Oh, good. Me too.
I do want to say, like the money is going to come back, but it's kind of really, it's important to spend it on memories some of the time. It shouldn't always be about like, I'm gonna give me something to eat. Like you could have bought that plane ticket 50 times over, had you sacrificed in this area, So
I heard someone say that you cannot save your way into being wealthy.
You can't.
Like saving is not the way to do it. You have to take risks. You have to invest. You have to like bet on yourself. Like there's a lot of different routes to get it, but saving, it ain't gonna happen. So it's kind of like what you just said. You let so many opportunities pass you by if you fixate on getting a certain amount, or I can't do this until I blah blah blah. Like,
wow. You can't save your way to rich. Save your way to wealthy. Wow, I like that.
Yeah, you can.
I like that. This was fun. So just a quick recap. We talked about 5 different types of self-care. So again, on episode, this is episode 42, 41, 41?
42.
42. Okay, so
Jackie Robinson.
So episodes 41 and 42 of the episode, we talked about the different types of self-care. So we encourage you to put this on, share with your friends, your family, and just have these discussions so that we can all be doing our best on self-care. So the types of self-care that we discussed was spiritual self-care, social self-care, physical self-care, mental self-care, and financial self-care. So should I go over what they mean real quick, you think? Or
no, I mean, I don't think it's necessary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure.
They better go back to episode 41.
Hello.
Listen. So with those, I want us to try something, and we're like setting some real intentions on our self-care and doing better with it. And like committing to some SH, as they say in the Russell House. And striving to be our best self. Like, what if we came up with the list of one thing that we can do to implement the 5 different types of self-care that we discussed? And that can be a thing we kind of check in with each other, and not in a couple months maybe. And I was thinking about this, and we'll have a conversation later. But I was thinking, because if we continue to keep this in the forefront, like, it'll be a thing that will stay present and not necessarily, because a lot of times things just kind of dwindle and then it goes to the back burner, you forget about it. But I think self-care in this time of our lives is very important. So I think we should do a better job at checking in with each other here at But Actually Decent, and hopefully encourage you and your friends to do the same thing, to check in, because self-care it be important, and it be hard sometimes, and sometimes you need to have conversations or get some suggestions. So y'all willing to try that? Come up with that to implement the self-care. And for our listeners, same for you. And let's talk about it. Comments and send DMs, whatever we could do, text message, whatever it is. But let's just have the conversations and then because I didn't know when my therapist first introduced this to me, I had never heard of it. So it's good to, maybe it'll be exposed to somebody to something and can give them the language or something like that. So that's what we're hoping to give you in these 2 episodes about self-care. And I just hope that we're doing our best every day to do good and be better at each and every one of our self-care.
The first thing that tends to not get taken care of is us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Like, we'll sacrifice for everything else except for ourselves. And so my commitment is to keep that in mind, that there's so many other things that pull on you or that have expectations of you, but you also got to have some of yourself. You can't do what you can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah,
big facts. I love that. Well, that's weekend. I like that. That was good, guys. I enjoyed that. So we're gonna get our self-care in shape. We're gonna get in shape and tone up and stretch and do all those good things so that we could be actually decent.
Yes.
So there's anything else we want to discuss before we leave, guys?
Oh, I think you can take us out.
That's a nice place to put a button on it. So take care of yourself. Do what you got to do to check in on those 5 different pillars that we just discussed today, and talk to us about it, and we'll see y'all next week.
Yes, peace out.
See y'all later.